Students, the next part of the module is application of Gauss's law and differential volume element. So far we have seen the application of Gauss's law with respect to line charge density and surface charge density. Now we are going to see more about with the volume charge density. For this we will consider a cubical phase. So in this cubical phase we will consider the point P located in a Cartesian coordinate system. This is the point where we need to identify the electric flux density. Now taking as an initial part, whatever may be the application, there will be an initial value present in a capacitor or any inductor. Initial charge will be present. Likewise, considering the initial value of electric flux density on this cubical phase on all the three sides, we can write d naught is equal to dx naught into x plus dy naught into ay plus dz naught into az. It is the electric flux density on your respective directions like x, y and z. We can consider a closed surface. So in this, according to Gauss's law, we can write the electric flux density in a closed surface area is equal to the charge enclosed. Since the analysis over a non-symmetrical surface, it is not a symmetrical surface, the total electric flux density in this cubical surface is equal to electric flux density on your front face, electric flux density on your back face, electric flux density on your left and right faces, top and bottom faces. First we'll have the analysis towards the electric flux density on your front face. In the front face, electric flux density is equal to initial value of your electric flux density on your front face and what is the surface area on your front face. The surface on your area on your front face is del y and del z. So d front into the surface area on your front face is del y into del z into ax vector. So dx front into del y into del z. Now your front face is at a distance of del x by 2 from the center point, from the centroid point. So we can write dx front is equal to initial value of your electric flux density on your x face plus del x by 2. This del x by 2 is represents the point P is at a distance of del x by 2 from the centroid position. So we can write ds front is equal to dx naught plus del x by 2 into dou dx by dou x. So integration of your electric flux density on your closed front surface is equal to dx naught plus del x by 2 dou dx by dou x into del y into del z. Similarly, we should find the electric flux density on your back face. Electric flux density on your back face can be written as d back into del s back. So which we can write it as d is nothing but your electric flux density on your backside surface. Del s is on your backside, that is surface area on your backside surface is equal to, here front face is at del y, therefore the back face will be at minus del y dot del z. So after identifying, we will get backside electric flux density is equal to minus dx naught plus del x by 2 dou dx by dou x del x into del y. So adding both your front face electric flux density and back face electric flux density, you will get the total electric flux densities as dou dx by dou x, del x, del y and del z. On similarly if you proceed it, you will get on your front face and back face is over. Now you can identify your right face and left face electric flux density. So right face and left face electric flux density is, when you identified your front face has del y and del z. Okay, so when you identify your side faces, you have del x and del z. So del y is going to be constant, so you can write it as dou dy by dou y into del x, del y and del z. Similarly, top and bottom face, you can write it as top face area, what it is the area of the top face, del x, del y. So del z is going to be, the direction of your electric flux density is going to be your del z. So we can write it as top face and bottom face electric flux density is equal to dou dz divided by dou z, del x, del y and del z. So looking at all the three, front face, back face electric flux density, right and left electric flux density, top and bottom electric flux density, del x, del y, del z is a constant in all the three terms, which represents it is a volume element. If it is a front face, the area covered if it is del y and del z, the other into the equations of your electric flux density on your front face, back face, right and left, top and bottom. Del x, del y, del z is being a common term and it represents a volume element. If it is a front face and back face, the electric flux density on the front face and back face is here. Front face means the area covered is del y and del z. Therefore, the electric flux density will be on your third axis, that is x axis. In case if you are identifying the electric flux density on your side face, that is left side or right side, the area covered for your left side or right side is x and z. Therefore, the direction of your electric flux density will be on your y axis. Similarly, when you consider your top face and bottom face, the area covered is y and z. Therefore, the electric flux density will be on your third axis, x. Based on that, you can write it. Your front face, front, back, right, left and top, bottom electric flux density as dou dx by dou x, dou dy by dou y, dou dz by dou z. Now adding the total electric flux density on that Gaussian surface is summation of all these three electric flux density. So when you add, you will get dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz by dou z into del x, del y, del z. So it represents your volume element. We can write it as del v. Now charge enclosed in a volume element is dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz into dou z, dou dz by dou z into del v. This we can write it as divergence of your vector d. So divergence dot d is equal to q, which is equal to integral over the closed surface d dot ds, because it is according to Gauss's law. So when you take this divergence d, take this del v towards your right hand side, you will get divergence dot d is equal to integral over the closed surface d dot ds divided by del v, which is equal to q by del v, which is equal to rho v. This I can write it as divergence dot d is equal to rho v, which is equal to limit del v tends to 0 integral over the closed surface d dot ds divided by del v. So divergence definition is divergence of any vector flux density. So here it is not that we should represent only d. We can represent either a or b or c, anything it could be. So the divergence of any vector flux density is defined as the outflow of flux coming out from a closed surface per unit volume as the volume shrinks to 0. This is how you need to write the definition of your divergence theorem. Here divergence, you should remember this equation. From this equation only you can write the definition. The divergence of any vector flux density is defined as the outflow of flux per unit volume, the outflow of flux from your closed surface area per unit volume as the volume shrinks to 0. This is how you need to write the definition of your divergence. Now this divergence has to be written in all three types of coordinate system: Cartesian system, cylindrical system and spherical system. Divergence d can be expressed in Cartesian system as dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz by dou z. Divergence in case of your cylindrical coordinate system. The three ordinates of your cylindrical systems are rho, phi, z. The divergence of in case of your cylindrical coordinate system are 1 by rho, dou by dou rho into d rho plus 1 by rho, dou by dou phi into d phi plus dou dz divided by dou z. It is nothing but rho v of rho phi z. It is divergence in case of your cylindrical coordinate system. Whereas the divergence in case of your spherical coordinate system is, the spherical systems are r, theta and phi. Divergence d is equal to 1 divided by r square dou by dou r square into dr plus 1 by r into sin theta, dou by dou theta sin theta into d theta plus 1 by r sin theta into dou by dou phi into d phi. It is divergence in case of your cylindrical system. Divergence is nothing but it is the vector operator that produces divergence. Why we need to identify? It is nothing but the vector operator that produces signed scalar field giving the quantity of vector field source. So by using the formula specified here, we can identify the divergence of any vector flux density either in Cartesian or cylindrical. Using the divergence shown by using the formula shown over here, you can identify the divergence of any vector flux density either in Cartesian coordinate system or cylindrical coordinate system or spherical coordinate system. It is nothing but what is meant by a divergence? It is nothing but the vector operator, as we discussed in the introduction part. It is a vector operator and it produces a signed scalar field giving the quantity of vector field source. This is how you need to derive the expression for the divergence. It is one of your important derivation, and using this many applications can be navigated, and using this some more problems can also be solved. And for this you people can refer the lecture notes that is given in the Google Classroom. Thank you. From this the module 1 is completed.